What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bayou Bandit Charters. If y'all watched last week's episode, I went with my good buddy Bruce Howell fishing on an elevated sight fishing platform, and I really enjoyed the experience. Awful conditions to try to sight fish. Wind blowing 20 miles an hour, stained water, dead low tide, but it was still a blast and a ton of fun. So as you can tell, we are not fishing today. I'm up here in my dad's shop. Got a whole bunch of aluminum tubing. Bought me an iPilot, so it's going to be a busy weekend. I've got a design for a sight fishing tower. Going to be a little bit different than anything y'all have ever seen before. Most of them's got 4 legs, hinge back, stuff like that. I'm doing mine off the gunnels. It's going to be a whole different design. The main goal is to have it where I can take this tower apart in 3 pieces and actually put it on my back tower back there and stow it out of the way. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got a jig set up over here, and we're going to show y'all how to bend this aluminum tubing, make perfect radiuses, perfect bends, however small, large, whatever you want to do. My dad's got it nice and cozy in here. Got the old potbelly stove, got some wood in there, got the fan blowing, and it is nice and toasty in here because it is cold outside, I'm telling y'all. This is just a sample of what you can do. What we're going to show y'all, how you can bend this tubing any way you want to. It doesn't collapse the tube. It keeps the radius the way you want it. My dad was just playing around to see how tight of bends and radius he could get on this, and so that is pretty awesome. Fixing to show you here in just a few minutes. We got a couple of bows we need to make for our platform. If y'all got a passion for saltwater fishing like I do, give my channel a subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Really help my channel grow. Enough talking. Let's get started bending this tubing. Y'all check it out. Woo. Man, that feels good. Got a fan that works off of heat. No wires, no battery, no nothing. My dad's had that thing for probably 20 years. We're going to show y'all how to do this today on a wooden table because a lot of y'all don't have the steel, metal welding table, stuff like that. Everybody can get a piece of plywood, cut some pieces of wood at whatever radius you want, and be able to do this right here at home. And it will look very professional when we're done. All right, the first step we're going to do is you can use a piece of wood, a wine cork, anything like that. You want to plug one end of your tubing. Run a little bit of tape around it, and that end will be ready. All right, the tubing I'm using is electrical conduit. I've got the 1 inch and the 1.25 inches. That's measured by ID, not OD. So we're looking at about a little under 1.25 inches on the OD. It's good, thick, heavy wall tubing. It welds good. And yes, you can use a conduit bender, but if you do, that's only one radius you can do. With this, you can do a 3-inch radius, whatever you want to do to make your bends for whatever project you're working on. And my dad's going to tell you the secret to this.
After experimenting with different materials to keep the pipe from crushing, I found that oil dry, which is full as earth, is non-flammable. It stays dry. It pours in, and then you can pour it out easily too.
That keeps your pipe from collapsing. We've got a funnel right here. We're going to fill the pipe full. And none of this will be wasted. We can reuse it on another pipe. And this material is pretty much self-packing. Once you get your tube full, just tap it a little bit. Woo! Just tap it a little bit, and we're ready for the next step. So now we're ready to plug the other end, then we can start bending. Because we're doing this on a wood table instead of a metal fab table, you don't want to really catch your table on fire. So we'll be using heat. So we're marking our radiuses from one end to the other where we can heat it up. Want to rotate the pipe as you're doing this to maintain even heat. Alright, we got our first bend. We're gonna mark our second bend. Alright, bow number 1 is almost ready. We've got our bends. When you fill it with that oil dry, it allows you to be able to work your bends pretty good without collapsing anything. The smaller the diameter, the easier it is to work with. This is kind of pretty difficult with this 1 inch, but if you were using 3/4 or 1/2 inch, it would have been a whole lot easier. And if you do have a metal shop table, fab table, welding table, it would be easier as well because you don't have to pull it up and heat it and then put it back down on your jig and bend it. You can do it all in place. But I wanted to show y'all on this wooden table because, you know, a lot of people doesn't have the metal fab tables. They've got this at the house and they can make it work. Takes a little bit of time, not a long time, but it takes, you know, it takes a few minutes to heat it up and do it. The hotter you get it, the more consistent you get to heat, the easier the bends will be. So we're going to get all the oil dry out of it. We're going to cut our piece right here, weld it in. We've got one more bow to do that's going to be a little bit smaller than this one. We get that done, we'll start building the tower. Stay tuned. All right, we've got our bows made. This one turned out a little bit better than the other one. We took a little bit longer to heat it up. A little trick we found when you mark it with a permanent marker and that permanent marker disappears due to the temperature change, that is about the right temperature you need to bend it. That seemed to work real well. We welded up our link that we needed. There's the other one right there. That one's a little bit bigger for our design. This is going to be our platform base. We've got a piece of aluminum we're fixing to cut to fit, weld on here. That is going to be the bow that is going to sit up about waist high to protect you and keep you from falling off that tower, because you don't want to do that. We're going to be up there quite a long ways, and I'll show y'all in a little bit how we're going to design it to slip sleeve down over this one and pin. But like I said before, bending the material that way works really, really well. You can do it at home. You don't have to have a bunch of high dollar benders or equipment like that. So enough talking. We're gonna get some things done and we'll update you all along throughout the process. If you enjoy these boat building projects, how-to, stuff like that, I'll leave a couple of videos at the end of this video for when I built my custom light rail. I used tubing for all that. Did the bends on my cooler all the way around, containment for that one, and my bigger Yeti back there in the back. we've just finished the base of the platform. We've got a center support right there. Turned out nice. Want something that's going to be lightweight. When we get done, it'll be a 3-piece, actually a 4-piece unit that I can put together real quick and easy by myself. The next thing we've got to do is we're going to get this platform up to the level we want it, about 7 foot above the bow deck, get it in position and measure and figure out our angles for our ladder, which will be on each side of the boat. Something different, something nobody's probably ever seen before. I've never seen one like it, had the idea, so stay tuned. All right, here's the finished product. Just kidding, y'all. What we did is we made us 4 plumb bobs, went off the edge of the tower, squared it up, got everything squared and positioned where we want it. Now that we've got everything squared with our plumb bobs, we've got this base where we want it. Now we can build our ladders. Each side is going to come up as an angle, and it'll be a ladder on each side of this tower. We've got some receivers that we're going to weld in where they fit in there good and snug, and we can put this all together. Stay tuned, she's coming together. All right, give y'all a little update. We have got both ladders built. We put the rungs 1 foot apart, and it is 2 foot wide. Got that one built, all the welds dressed up nice. Got the second one right there. All right, everybody, time for an update. Check this out. Look at this tower, y'all. We heated up this 1.25 inch conduit, got our nice bends, got all of our angles and radius is right. This thing is super stout, super strong. This is going to be really awesome. Got the iPilot. This is the Minn Kota Tarova 36 volt 112 trolling motor. Got this trolling motor from Danny Rogers with Performance Fishing Electronics. I'm gonna leave the website right there. Be sure to check him out. Anything you need. Same place I got my power poles from. My ionic lithium batteries that I absolutely love. I can fish all day long, run my gig and charters during the night, still have plenty of juice. They charge up fast. I absolutely love them. Kippewa props, if y'all not using those 3-blade Kippewa props, I really do like those. A lot more thrust out of your trolling motor and saves on some battery life as well. But we got our custom bracket built right there. Everything welded in. We got the quick detach mount where I can still use my tiller for my gig and charters. And that also gives me a backup, right? I can go back and forth from one to the other. Right over there, we've got our safety containment. It slides in these tubes right here. We'll drill some holes and pin those. I also added 2 rod holders. When I'm up there on the tower, I'll be able to have 2 rod holders. And it also doubles as a bow rack, right? Run these gig and charters and bow fishing charters. I've got 4 bows. And I had a rack that was made out of PVC up here like this that I slid them on. My plans were to make one of those out of aluminum tubing, but I thought, hey, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I've got my rod racks for the tower, and I can simply take my bow, pull it off like that. It'll hold 4 bows, no problem, and they'll hang right there nice and secure. Still got a lot of work going on. Won't be long, we'll get the boat out of the shop. I'll show y'all how all this is going to fit on the back tower for storage when not in use. And we'll take it outside and I will fully break down this tower and put it back together by myself in a matter of minutes, if the plan works. Thanks for watching this build. It's been a lot of fun. It will be a blast out there on the water, being able to sight fish those reds from that viewpoint. Enough talking. I got more work to do. I'll update y'all in a few minutes. All right, everybody. It is the next day. I am back at my house. Let me show you. I'm really proud of what I've designed, put together, and built. There's the whole tower. That was the main focus. I wanted it all to collapse and not take up any space on the back of this boat. This is part of my old tower that will pull right out where I won't have any clearance issues. But I'm going to show y'all how easy it is to build this big tower real quick and easy. I've got my receivers. Of course, I hadn't had time to paint anything yet. Just got through fabricating yesterday. So let me put it all together. I'll show y'all real quick. All right, all this is bolted down and secure, all locked in together. It's got 2 bolts. I've just got them hand tight for right now for demonstration purposes. But we remove these 2 bolts. And that will lock everything down. And now we have got our tower, right? So this is the base of the tower. That's part number 1. We will sit it right here for now. All right, so we've got our 2 ladders. This is going to be our starboard ladder. And all this stuff is lightweight. It slides down on those receivers. Just like that. Now we'll grab our port, leg, and ladder. It slides right in like that. That gives us our angle we need to sit the top piece on. The way I've got this designed for clearance, and I've got to get some better pins. I've just got bolts right now. I've got my 4 riser legs that I can put in a dry storage box, have them out of the way. Like I said, I got to make me some quick pins here. That comes right out, and just like that. Now we've got the top part. Slides in there. Slides in just like that. I've got collars right here welded in. It's where everything sits flush and secure. And that joker is going to be stout. We've got our 4 legs that can fit in any dry storage box. They just pin right in. And like I said, we're gonna make some quick pins for these. Just like that. And then we have our top piece right here. That drops right in. And these will be quick pins right here as well. And this platform from the deck I'm standing on is 7 foot right there. So it's a big tall tower, and you just climb right up, go under the rail, grab your fishing rod. As you can see, this sucker is sturdy, moving the whole boat, not going anywhere at all. Good vantage point to fish off of. Your eyes will be about 15 foot above the water fishing off this sight fishing platform. And the cool thing about it, it all breaks right down that quick. This was real time, y'all. Breaks right down and bolts to the back tower completely out of the way. I still got to paint it, put some non-skid up here, put some non-skid on the ladder. Let me get down and show you how it looks. Got our rod holders right there. Very sturdy, didn't need any X bracing, anything like that. As y'all saw, it's not going to go anywhere at all. Got my new iPilot from Danny Rogers with Performance Fishing Electronics. Talked about that earlier in the video. It's got plenty of clearance. Can't wait to figure out how to use that sucker. Really pleased with this build. You got headroom, you don't have to duck to get in and out. Really am happy with it. It breaks down just as quick and easy as it assembled. Like literally 5 minutes, you can have a big sight fishing tower that's safe with containment rail on your boat, and also being able to use the one I have on the back. That's a 4.5 foot tower. This is a 7 foot tower. Now let me get down and show y'all from a distance what it looks like. Check it out. I've never ever seen one designed like this. I didn't want the typical ones that have the 4 legs. Some of them hinge back, but I've got all these hatches, right? And I wanted to make sure I had access to all my hatches, number one. Number two, if I hinged it back at the height I wanted, it would hit my console and be in the way. I want to be able to go out sight fish for reds during the day and afternoon, be able to collapse all that tower, put it back on the other tower out of the way to be able to run my gigging charters. And to me, this was a good design. Like I said, I've never seen one built like this before. I thought about it long and hard, how I wanted to do it. And I like it, y'all. I'm really pleased with the build. I've got to make me some quick pins to get rid of those bolts, where that'll be easier and smoother than using the bolts in there. But very stable, very stout, all gusseted in. It's level with the boat. On next week's video, I'll be going out for the first time sight fishing on my tower and using the iPilot for the first time. I've never even turned power on that thing yet. I built my nice custom mount for it. I also have it where I can quick change it and put my tiller back on for my gigging charters, because I like the tiller response and all that for running my flounder gigging trips. After I fish next week on it, make sure everything's just the way I want it, then I will paint it the blue and white to match everything else on the boat, and it'll blend in perfectly. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thanks for following along on this build. Super pumped about it. It'll be some really good video quality coming from up there on the tower. They say for every 1 foot of height, you gain 12 foot of visibility. So we should be able to see a long way, being able to target those redfish, sight fishing in those shallow flats in the marsh. Super pumped about it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already, and we'll see you next week.